it
Now that was some
froze,
good work.
I believe, and then I
Here's a
just
little
had to.
spending money for the. One more thing I wanted to.
Yeah, what happened? Okay,
Alright.
what happened was my computer froze, so I stopped recording. Just to get past that. Basically, the girl is surrounded by 3 geckos.
I'd be a goner for sure.
If you kill the 3 geckos, you'll get a better reward from the training lady. Otherwise, you can let her die, and that's fine too. The training lady's dog, Cheyenne, he can actually die in that quest chain too, and it'll make things easier for you. But for the sake of killing everyone in one fell swoop, I saved both of them. So it'll just help you guys help show what the mass chaos it'll probably be is. After you get to a certain distance away from the village, it'll say, oh, do you want to change your character's face, name, or any of the skills that you might have picked in the beginning. If you like what you had, then you're good to go. After you do that first quest, head east and you'll come across this building here. Near the building there will be powder gangers, which is basically a group of thugs. You want to kill some of them because they can give you really good guns and ammo that you'll need, and these are the guys that'll actually have the chance of having the dynamite drops. Normally, I kind of got lucky when I came across this. They're actually being distracted by these bloat flies, which are these gross giant flies that are pretty disgusting. They're being distracted by them, so they just kind of lay there, are trying to take those out, and while they're doing that, you can pick them off. There'll probably be 2 or 3, and that'll be about it. By the way, when you're going to combat enemies, this is really weird. The bloat flies in the ground. When you're combating the enemies, you want to try and get into crouch mode, because you'll have a better aim first of all, and then you'll also have a higher. If they don't see you, you'll have an instant critical hit on them, which if you shoot them in the head while they're not seeing you and you're crouched, you'll kill them instantly, almost basically every time. So it's a really nice, it's a really nice thing to remember, is just crouch and you'll always get a critical hit if they don't see you. Which one of the items I'll show you guys when I come across it is an item called the Stealth Boy, which creates makes you invisible for a set amount of time. I believe it's 30 seconds. But if you get that item, you can nobody can see you until you start attacking them. So they won't notice you, and you get instant critical hits all the time off of them. After you clear those 2 powder gangers, from there go north and you'll come across this van, which while I was recording this, my computer froze like entirely, so it's right after taking a rest in the van. But in the van there'll be some people around here. There'll be 2 powder gangers. Hopefully they're dead, because there's basically what happens is there's a struggle there, and yeah, as you can see, there's still more of them. But there's a struggle there, and if you're lucky, the powder gangers killed either the caravanners, so you can take their stuff because they have armor and some weapons. That, or they'll all have just killed themselves. Lucky for me, there was only 1 left alive, which I was able to kill. And it's a good idea to take a rest there, because you can restore your health there and get all your stats worked back up. But what'll happen is after you rest there, there'll be some more powder gangers that show up, because the game works is enemies will not enemies, yeah, I guess enemies. All of the NPCs will still move, but they won't ever attack you while you're in your sleep. So they'll be next there, and as soon as I wake up, they notice me and start attacking. After I've set my stats here, my computer, like I said, froze, and I've had to redo it all. As you can see, my computer's already kind of just skimping out. So I'll show you. I'll tell you what stats you'll want to improve after it's frozen and we're gone up. Because after the computer, the game saves after you take a rest. So I'll just go right back to that, and the powder gangers will be right there again. So I'll just take care of them again, and then you'll guys see what stats are pretty important for what's going to be happening. Oh, also, every time you level up, the higher your intelligence is, and let's see, yeah, that's it. The higher your intelligence is after you level up, you get points depending on how high your intelligence is. So if you have a higher intelligence, you have a higher, let's say instead of, normally it's 15. If you have an intelligence of, let's say 8, I believe you get 19 points. What happens there is after you kill a certain number of faction people, you get their you get reputation with them. So let's see. You want explosives and guns; those are pretty important. You don't really need barter or anything else. I'm gonna throw the rest of them in sneak. Guns is important because that's your main forte in terms of like damage output, and then I just throw the rest in sneak for an even amount. And then I threw those 2 last points. After you level up, you get points to put into your what is it? That's what it was. After you level up, you get, every 2 levels you get a skill that you can choose, and the skill I chose was to increase one of the status points by 1, which I chose to increase strength because that helps your damage output. Here I've just taken some of the equipment I found and use them to repair the other weapons to increase the condition of the current ones that I already have. It helps clear up your inventory and helps keep your weapons in good condition. So if you ever come across, let's say 10mm pistols that you'll get, which at first those will seem pretty rare, but then it'll be pretty it'll be pretty common once you get into the later areas. And I basically have a storehouse full of 10mm pistols that I use all the time. And the what is it? If you use the ones to increase the condition of the other, it'll help damage output, and it'll also increase your aim and reduce the chances of it jamming. So we're just gonna go back to the town and go talk to the training lady again. I can't ever remember her name for the life of me because I never really cared too much for her. But we're gonna go talk to her, and she's gonna give us a quest to go collect herbs, or it's a root. She wants us to collect a root and a what is it? I think a flower. Oh, one other thing is when you're going through towns, make sure to check mailboxes because sometimes you'll find magazines in there that'll help you out, or books. Basically, there'll be a ton of stuff. Right, the person's house we're in right now is Victor, and he has some ammunition and some pretty valuable stuff that you can sell for a pretty high amount. As you can see, the fission batteries sell for 75. Their value is at 75. If you have a high enough barter, you can get that actual full 75. But I decided to ignore it because I'm not really going to be worrying too much about money. So you know, I'm just not gonna focus on that at all. That's why I just walked over it. But if you want, you can feel free to take them. Basically, just checking every little nook and cranny in Victor's house, because sometimes they like to do that. They'll hide stuff, and they'll hide stuff on there. So there's Victor going back to his house. If you talk to him, he'll be like, "Oh, hi, how are you? I say the same stuff over and over, so now we're talking to me." Oh, don't waste your ammunition on these stupid things. You can just punch them. Basically, they're just giant mantises. You can just punch them, and then you'll be fine. Take about 1 or 2 hits, and that's about it.